very grateful to be doing this show. We have excellent questions from Facebook, waiting for the broadcast to be published. The bar is 80%. You're live. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Todd Standing. I'm the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Boy, do I have a cool question from Facebook. I'm going to do it last. It's from Cameron. He's a tremendous supporter, and he runs the Discovering Bigfoot fan page, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was Cameron. I was just going through it like crazy. My office is all ripped apart. I've got people coming in to help me right away. Lots of people coming in to help. I'm very excited about all the expeditioners that are on board. The expeditions start in 2 weeks. That's how awesome it is. And I kind of had it forced upon me, and it's awesome. I like it when, hey, Amanda, hey, Mason, Bigfoot, all you guys, awesome. Thanks, Tim T from Florida. Hey, y'all. So anyways, just you'd think that with the virus stuff I would have been pushed back, but it looks like I'm getting pushed forward a little bit, which is just awesome. I'm very happy about that. So one of the first questions from the Facebook, I'll get to the questions here in just a second. Let you guys warm up and get controversial today, please. This is a live show, and I have no control over what goes on. Nothing will be edited in any way, shape, or form. I will not use profanity. And if you use profanity in the questions, you'll be removed. Please don't do that. First question, simple one, is how many do I take out? 4, including me. So me and 3 others. I never do more than that. And this year, I actually am doing me and 2 people, and then I'm going to bump people around, and that gives me a little room to play. So I've got standby people that can maybe get on it. The expeditions are just complete. All I had to do was do a little work, and they're completely sold out. Everything's all gone. So I might open up another expedition in October, and I think I will. So I'll do another space just because there's such a big demand for it right now. But we'll just take it step by step and see how it goes. So very, very excited. I don't know. It's gonna be a great year. I have so much help coming, so many people. I always do so well with expeditioners. I get Andy from Alabama, a computer programmer, comes out, and he's this genius mini athlete, like long distance jumper, runner, amazing guy that made all these incredible discoveries, and he was a computer programmer. Like, who knew? You know, I have PhDs that came out and quit. Gorilla expert PhDs. I'm all excited, and they just dick around. They leave early because they're scared of the bears. And then I get Andy or Stefan, a martial arts guy, this brilliant, amazing guy, my most successful expeditioner of all time. He always sees a Sasquatch at least once, if not multiple times on his expeditions. And he's doing the craziest stuff. He's so out there. He brought bottles of urine from his approximately 16-year-old daughter while she was ovulating. He had her pee in these bottles, and he brought them out and spread them all over the place. That's how dedicated some of these people are, and I was scared to have that happen. But yeah, the do they smell bad question came up on Facebook. Only when they're just like gorillas, when they get really upset, the pores open up and then they smell. But generally no. And if there's a bad smell, they're really understand that the Sasquatch is in a very bad position. They're very unhappy about something, and they also know the wind gauge is blowing that way, and they know you can smell them, and they're letting you know they're there. I've talked about that quite a few times, so I'm not going to get into that too much. Does it feel? What does it feel? Oh, this was a good question. What does it feel like when you see a Sasquatch? Probably the most incredible. I've skydived, rock climbed, fallen rock climbing. I've had a really exciting life. I've always been one of those crazy guys. I played football and all kinds of sports, and I love to, mountain bike and snowboard. I'm a real snowmobiler, crazy, kind of an adrenaline junkie. I've been like that especially when I was younger. Not so much now because I don't want to break any bones. But it's more exciting than that. When you see them moving, like the way they move, and you could feel their energy, and the hair stands up on the back of your neck, and your heart starts pumping every time. There's no exception. And I'll go months without seeing one, in some cases years, and it's freaking exciting. It's a thrill it's just the most thrilling thing, and it's scary, terrifying, and exhilarating, and an honor too that they show themselves. I hope you can understand. It's a mind-blowing experience every single time. They're so amazing. They never disappoint, and a lot of times I'll be talking about Sasquatch or a sighting or watching a video and I just get goosebumps because people don't understand. I was there, I saw that, and I remember what it was like. I remember my body temperature, my heart rate, the way I was breathing. My pupils were dilated, the shake and the goosebumps that I got the day I filmed video 3, video 2, video 8. You know what I mean? So that's just the way I feel about it. I mean, that's why something like taking a lie detector test with me would be so amazing, because I would just be like, if you showed me video 3 and asked me if that was real, I would just look at it. You would just see you don't even need a lie detector test. You could just see the hair stand up on my arm, just like right now. I'm there. My legs hairs are standing up right now. It's just that exciting. It's that thrilling. I was there. I saw it. I heard it. The energy in the air, the feelings that you get. It's totally mind-blowing, and that's why I thought I'd answer that question. It might seem like a simple nothing question, but it's real. And then people that see it for the first time, the experience is very different because they get that paradigm shift, and a lot of times they don't believe what they're seeing, and they need to go think about it because it's such a profound paradigm. They get their, what do you call that? That moment of that shocking moment. There's a name for it, but they go through that shock, sometimes a week or a month or 2 months or 3 months later. When they really sit down and realize, I really did see a Sasquatch. There was no other explanation. Like, this guy is not, he is this. It's all real, and it's a pretty big shock. So, and so 2 more questions from the Facebook. This one was a good question. Are hairs different in cold and warm environments? Absolutely not. The fur of a deer is the fur of a deer. The hair of a man is man. Well, but then what about African American hair? Looks a little different than white people hair. So I don't know about that, but just as far as like bears and mountain lions and deer, the hair is the hair. It's all the same. And especially when you're talking specifically about Sasquatch, they don't have fur. They have hair. So, but I don't see any reason for there to be any different. I think it's a good question. It makes you think, but I see absolutely no reason in the biology to assume that the hair that of a Sasquatch in the north would be any different than the hair for a Sasquatch. What is different is the Hawthorne effect, where they'll get smaller they'll be more abundant and smaller in warm locations, and they'll be less abundant and bigger. The biggest bears in the world just go north and they get bigger and bigger, right? So the biggest moose, the biggest species are north, right? Even if you want to think about it, the giant of the giants are the whales, and they feed in the north, right? That's their feeding ground. That would be their ideal spot. Everywhere else they go to have babies and it's migrating back to their feeding zones are north. So the giants on our planet are cold weather northern species. So, and here was the awesome question. This just blew my mind. I wonder if this could be done. This is some scary science. Really scary. Couldn't we clone one to prove they exist? And let's talk about that. So I get a hair sample. It's a Sasquatch. I know it's a Sasquatch hair sample. I get it analyzed as some unknown hominid. Could we take DNA from that hair? Probably not at this point. But I've had blood. I've had like flesh, a chunk of flesh with skin on it. I could have taken that and had it analyzed. Well, forget about analyzed. I know that was a Sasquatch. There was hair on that. It was after I filmed video 7, the thermal video. That Sasquatch came down the tree and caught himself. So on a stick on a twig that he'd busted off, and then it was about that long and jagged. So he caught it. There was a chunk of flesh, like a little piece of flesh with hair and skin. Couldn't I have just taken that, had that DNA, put it into a human egg, let it grow? Can you imagine? Wouldn't that prove Sasquatch is real? Isn't that scary? That is a scary possibility. That is crazy, crazy science. Because let's go with the science of what we know. We know that they can breed successfully with human beings and produce viable offspring. We know this. It's in the DNA. It's happened 17 times. Why couldn't we take Sasquatch DNA and put it in a human egg? It would still be half human and half Sasquatch. Can you imagine that? So I don't know. Is that such weird science? I apologize. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old visiting me, so you might hear crying in the background. It's 7 o'clock and it's getting close to their bedtime. But family first with me, just in case you don't know. I'm a family first guy. Family is before everything. Family is the most important thing to me by far. So those are my Facebook questions. Thank you very much for the Facebook people. Let's see what we have here for questions. Chris, hey from Cape Cod. Hi, Chris. Cape Cod, awesome. Hello from Romania. Are you kidding me? Isn't that cool? I don't know. Maybe I'm a small mind because I'm easily amused. And UK, Romania, Cape Cod, like what the heck? Australia. That is awesome. I love that. That is amazing about the internet, isn't it? I can talk to people from all over the world. G2 Guns. Hello, Todd. Do Sasquatch have multiple mates? That's what I was just talking about. Watch my video. What the heck was that? Just watch my last two videos. I talk about that because it's really something I still have to think about it. I still need some thought into it because I've had a paradigm shift, and just because people were asking me that question, and I had an answer. It was, oh yeah, just like gorillas. No, they're not monogamous. They have one big dominant male because of sexual dimorphism. But are they more like gorillas or more like humans? Humans can be monogamous. The natives were monogamous. They had families where they were like that. They weren't polygamists. And the Sasquatch, well, I think that the people learned from the Sasquatch. And if that's the case, they learned to be monogamous like that, but still have tribes, then maybe Sasquatch should be considered that. Truth is, I don't know. And if I just got to figure it out, right? I've seen a lot of male dominant signs and behaviors that the male's dominating things, one particular male, but maybe he's like the chief, maybe he's the big boss, and there are other, I don't, the truth really is, my theory is, I'm questioning it, very much so questioning it right now, because my heart tells me they're more like hominids, they're more like humans, they're more like maybe Neanderthals and human beings, right? Homo florenziensis. And then those are mated pairs. Even though there's sexual dimorphism with me, I'm bigger than every girlfriend. I've never had a girlfriend that was 6'3", 230 pounds. That'd be a big girl. So I would argue, back in the days when I studied this stuff in anthropology, I remember my girlfriend, I'd like, oh, now that's it, I'm going to cheat on you. She goes, what? What do you mean? I go, well, there's enormous sexual dimorphism between us. So I have to cheat on you, girl. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. And she's like, you can hit the road, you can cheat on me, boy. But it's science, come on, it's science. If I was the same size, for you guys that are the same size, if your wife's sorry, you got to be monogamous. And those of you who are much bigger than your wives, sexual dimorphism, that doesn't apply to us. Doesn't apply, and the point is, it may not apply to Sasquatch. Are you kidding me? The Netherlands? That is so cool. Alberta. Lynette, you're a local to me. You're nothing special about you Albertan. She's special to Netherlands. I love Alberta. It's beautiful there. Banff is like my home. Banff is one of the greatest mountain towns in the whole world. I absolutely adore Banff. That's Canadian mountain town. If you ever want to come to Canada, that's my home. I live right beside Banff. I always probably will. And I just adore that mountain town. Please be aware that children participating in the live show, please keep the chat clean. I agree strongly. Remember, I'm a family guy first. So I hope I haven't sworn, Amanda. If I did, I'm very sorry. Sorry. It's a big sales pitch. Russell says it's a big. Are you hope? Okay. So Russell says it's a big sales pitch. What's a sales pitch? How do you prefer? Do you have a preferred season? Personally, who cares? Personally, I'm a summer-winter guy. I love the winter. I love the summer. The wet, cold, crappy spring and falls, don't like it at all. Doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. Especially you know what I don't like about spring and fall is it's freaking dangerous. When stuff is melting, landslides, when stuff is freezing. I'll go up a mountain, and then it'll rain, and then freeze while the rain is. Then the snow will cover it. I'll go up a mountain of snow-covered ice and go sliding back down and die. So I don't like fall. I don't like spring. But I love winter and summer. For Sasquatch research, it's late summer and fall are the best times of year, in my opinion. Winter is terrible time to be researching them, and you shouldn't research them in the winter time when there's snow on the ground when it's dangerous. It'd be different in southern United States and all the other places, right? So I have to watch live stream again. Epic. Hey, Cameron. And I did your question, Cameron. There's Cameron. I'm pretty sure it was your question. It must be. I recognize your photo about the DNA, using it to clone a Sasquatch, it's funny, but it's legit. I mean, is that what we have to do to make this happen? It's not even unethical. I wouldn't. You know what? I'll tell you this. If I could do that, I can get DNA Sasquatch. Go get a girl. I get you. Hey, Lacey. Where's Lacey? Let's get her to donate an egg. Amanda, you want to donate an egg? I guarantee you, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, Amanda. You don't have to share an egg. But I don't think I'd have any trouble getting somebody to donate an egg. You know I wouldn't. You know, I got 70 plus thousand followers on YouTube. Believe me, I could get an egg, and we could get that done. That would be crazy. Wouldn't that be crazy? What if we did that? There's a part of me that wants to, just because. What the hell is it going to take to make this discovery? That sure would end it, right? Baby Sasquatch, look at him grow. He's 5 and he's 200 pounds. You know, that would be so epic. I'm sorry, I know that's a crazy idea, but the more I think about it, the more I want to do it. You gotta understand my mentality, guys. I risk my life. I die. I've nearly died multiple times. I want this discovery to be done. Like, I'm so sick of this being paranormal. It's just like I was sick of it being paranormal in 2008. You know, that's 12 years ago. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being called a paranormal research. I'm sick of it. Like, I am done with this paranormal stuff. I just need to get this done. I feel like just people, you know, I'm so sick of talking to the skeptics and the people that are sure it does. I just don't have time for it anymore. I'm not interested in it, and I'm just tired, and I want it done. I really, really do. Hi, Todd. Do you think that the Sasquatch anticipate you coming back to the research area? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. I do think they anticipate. Well, you know what'll happen is, so in my heart, I believe they are. I'm trying to communicate with them through third eye spy, remote viewing. I'm trying to do that, and maybe I'm getting some success. I don't know. But I'm trying and working with remote viewing people, because remote viewing is real. And if I can get somebody to remote view Sasquatch, I've been working really hard on it, and I really want it to happen. But what will happen is when I drive up and I get out of the vehicle, if they're around, they lose it. Hey, hey, hey! I hear them. They get really, really excited. I get excited when they get excited, and then we have an incredible expedition. But that only happens initially, in the early, when I only go out there in the late spring, because it takes a long time for the pathways to melt open. But yeah, that only happens the first couple times, and then they expect me. When I go out there, they'll even ignore me a little bit, and it's a little bit frustrating. But yeah, fell off a cliff, served my Achilles tendon. Oh my God, Northwest Olympics. I'm very sorry. See the stuff that we have to do? Like, did I even hesitate to go, oh, there's a big shocker? We people out there, man, if I blow an Achilles tendon, if I blow my knee, if a rock comes down, if a gust of wind blows a rock and it gets me in the eye, expeditions are over, guys. You know, I lose tens of thousands of dollars, and you know, I blow a knee, there's a million things that could go wrong. You know, look at this, Achilles tendon. That is a devastating injury. I have Achilles problems like crazy. I'm limping on expedition days. I don't know what the hell. My Achilles just stiffens up. You know, my leg gets hurt. I damaged my outer quad one year pedaling back an electric bike that broke down, and nearly, you know, really hurt my leg. And I spent a month limping around in the bush. People have no idea what we do. They have no idea. I'm terribly sorry to hear that, Northwest Olympics, but that's the way it is. That's the reality of what we do. It's freaking hard. Survivor Man, last season of his show out in Mongolia, a truck flipped over 17 times, bashed up his lungs, broke his ribs. Terrible, terrible thing to happen, but that's what happens when you're legit real. This is not a controlled area. There is no stuntmen involved with this. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's brutal. I get attacked by a bear. I get jumped on by a mountain lion. I mean, you got to know what you're doing, and even in all that, still it's dangerous, guys. How do you? I'll never forget coming back from an expedition that was totally failed, way out in the backcountry, and just because nothing was happening, I thought, well, I'll go sleep on that mountain on my right instead of the one I always sleep on the left. So I go sleep on the mountain on the right. The mountain on the left fell down. Do you know that happens? Mountains just fall, collapse, boom, rubble. Do you know what would have happened if I would have went left? Nobody would have ever found my body. Nobody would have had any clue. Probably would have blamed Sasquatch, and it just because the damn mountain fell. But even was I guided? There was just a little tingle in my head. Let's go right. Right seems nice. And I'm alive because of that decision. That's why I tell people, move with your heart, follow your instincts, because it has literally saved my life. I can give you a dozen examples like that I shouldn't even be here. It's not even luck. Just a little tingle goes on, and I just, And I recognize that tingle, and I don't think, oh, the divine is telling me. I just go, I want to go right. Let's go there. I haven't been to that mountain. Nothing's happened. What's the point of this whole expedition? I had nothing. Let's go do something new. Let's try something new. Let's go sit on that mountain. I don't even know if I could sleep up there, but let's go give it a try. I know I got a nice comfortable spot on this left section, but so I go up there, mountain falls. I remember hearing it at night. Gosh, just the earth is shaking. A mountain fell, people. Wasn't in the news. Nobody knew nothing about it. I went back. I was like, hey, a mountain fell. They go, what mountain? No, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. Was that mountain even named? Never heard a word about it since. I take people back there once in a while. I go, you see that pile of rubble and how the whole valley's all flat? It's because a mountain done fell down, and I was supposed to be sleeping on that mountain. You know? So I don't want my son doing this. I don't want your children doing this. Not like this, guys. It's too much. It's too raw. It's too dangerous. It's not. But then I love what I do, you know. So I really do. I love taking people out on expedition. I do it now because I love it. So Northwest Olympic says no research for months. Well, I'm happy you're getting over it in months, sir. And you know what makes you powerful? Northwest Olympics. I'll be out there for months, and if I get success, you get success. You're gonna see it. And I'm mentoring people, and you're on here. Talk to people, help people. Give information and try to make this discovery move forward, and then we win, right? So get online, help out in any way you can, and I'm terribly sorry to hear that, but am I surprised? You know what that makes me think? Northwest Olympics makes me think you're bloody hell legit, because you must have been kicking some ass, right? Congratulations. That's why I train. I'm working out every day. I'm 235 pounds right now. I'm trying to hit 240 before the expeditions start, and that's muscle. I have a little bit of layer of fat. I'm pretty lean, but I'm strong. Endurance. That stuff matters. I'm harking on my expeditioners. Kick some ass. Get fit. I just talked to Lacey. I have an all-girl expedition this year. Isn't that cool? That is so. I've never done that. All women. Texas, California girl, and Nebraska girl, originally from Oregon. So how cool, isn't that cool? That is so cool. American girls, an all-American girl expedition with Todd Standing. I am so excited about that. It's going to be my second expedition of the year. Man, am I excited about that. Have you heard of any Bigfoot sightings in upstate New York? Yeah. Yes, but I haven't been there, and I can't recommend things, and so in New York State, I've got a kid. He's the first expedition coming out with me, my bro Kyle. And if Kyle's gonna get trained up by me, and Kyle's gonna do New York stuff after that. So he's my boy in New York. This kid's young, and he's just full of tough and vinegar. So Eric Jones says, Todd, just because you don't see them means they're not there. Listen to your gut. Of course, Eric. Of course. You know what? Honestly, they were there. They're mostly around. I'll be honest. I think if I was to give a number, 98% of the time they're around me. I have no idea. Seriously, I'm not saying they're around me 98% of the time. That's not correct. I don't know when I don't know they're around me. I don't know, but I'm thinking 98% of the time the Sasquatch are around me, watching me, aware of me, checking me out, doing things with me, and I don't even know. I have no clue of it. That's why a drone in the air would be so advantageous, right? Because then I would know. So that's a good point, though. Good question. What do you think of Seraphim long story, a young woman kidnapped by Sasquatches and the chinchillas and taken up Morris Mountain to live in the cave? Impregnated? I don't know anything about that story. Amanda, can you find out about that? S. Sanders on the chat room here talking about a story. So I'm very interested. I've never heard anything like that. Happy birthday, Tom. Happy birthday, sir. Yay, happy birthday for you. Shout out from Todd Standing. Thanks for watching my live show. I really appreciate your support, Tom. Honest to goodness. Tim T in Florida. Yes, Amanda, I will let you know what I find out. Fantastic. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda is kicking butt. And thanks, Phil, too. Phil. Dude, you're awesome. Wow. Amanda and Phil, these wonderful people that are so dedicated to this discovery and know me and my family so well. They're like extended family now, you people. I can't even express. It's awesome. Thank you. So, I'm in the background, Sephi, let you know, SoCal Forest Ninja. Donna, Todd, we found a 20-inch print in Sparky, Florida. Well, 20-inch print. Sounds too big. Was there some slippage in it? I don't think a Sasquatch. Remember I was talking about earlier how all beans get bigger as you go north. So if you have a 20-inch Sasquatch track in Florida, you need to have a real tracker look at it. If there's some slippage in it, that's okay. We need to see the width of it. Can't really hide width so well. I'd like to hear about the width dimensions, because it's just very, very unlikely. I'm just trying to be really honest with you in every single way. Right there, just ding ding ding. It rings a bell. That doesn't sound authentic to me. Somebody tells me they see an 18-inch track in Alaska. I'll consider it, but even in California, I'd go, oof, like Oregon, Washington, I don't know. 18, 19, 20, whoop, slippage or peace out. So I'm just, and I'm not saying no, I'm saying the likelihood is much less. If you legitimately have a Sasquatch that's a 20-inch, well, then you got Andre the Giant of Sasquatch down there. Congratulations. That's crazy, and that's possible. So you really got to look into recognizing slippage in a track, because in an organic trackway, there's often slippage, very, very often. And in the movement and on our hills and moving at angles, slide, slippage, very important to be deduced out. But yeah, do what you can. Send me a picture. I'm so bad. I can't do pictures, guys. People can fool me easily with photographs of Sasquatch tracks. I can be easily fooled. Even casts. I'm not a cast expert. Jeff Meldrum is. But I think even Jeff Meldrum can be fooled if someone takes a track of a Sasquatch, casts it, and then goes and makes stepping. Then the cast marks would fool him. So, and you know, that happened with Survivor Man, did that to try to trick Jeff Meldrum. He took an authentic Jeff Meldrum track, then walked around with it and kind of just saw if he could fool Jeff, and it kind of worked. But I don't know. Anyways, just my thoughts, right? Take me with a grain of salt, please, because I am not the end-all, be-all, and these are just my opinions, only my opinions. I am wrong. I make mistakes, so I'm giving you the best educated guess is all I can give you, and educated guess are often very, very wrong. So if there's an alpha male that becomes old and a new younger male becomes a new alpha of the group, what happens to the old alpha? Great question. You know, if it's a family, even you wouldn't want if a son is taking over for a father, well, now he's going to breed with his sisters and aunts, cousins. Nope, that's a really, really bad thing. So I would biologically, and the incest taboo is very universal. Incest taboo is animals don't inbreed with brothers and sisters. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing genetically. It's horrifically damaging. Any species that does that annihilates themselves. So, and the incest taboo amongst primates and amongst hominids, especially human beings, anthropologically amongst human beings, is a big incest taboo, and got to stay away from that stuff. It's really, really bad. So, of course, we're getting more of this incest crap now because of the domestication syndrome that I'm going to talk about a lot for the rest of my life. Domestication syndrome. It dumbs down the species, and we are thoroughly domesticated in ways that there's never even been an experiment about. So much to that, and I really don't care to speculate on that. And I'm just speculating too much more. But just try to think about, you know, what would, I don't know, I could see disbanding when a male dies. I've seen evidence of an old male dying and was not replaced. It was in Morley on a reserve I was doing research. The big male hadn't been seen for years, and then the young child was being a brat, not listening because he didn't have a dad. And in case you guys don't know this is something very important to me. Children need fathers. Badly. Badly, badly. Fathers are extremely important. Fathers are as important as mothers. In hominid species and in human species, parental alienation. So fathers are very, very important. In case you don't know, fathers don't have rights in the United States and Canada and the UK and Australia and so many other places. So fathers are second-class citizens. And I apologize for getting into this, but anyways, even with the Sasquatch, I saw it. That young Sasquatch was acting out, being a little punk, being a brat because his dad wasn't around. And what happened to that Sasquatch troop, I don't even know. I think eventually they just migrated over the mountain and left because they were just the female was having so much trouble. And the female, the mother of the group, had a male and female that were teenagers, and then this young one that was about 5 or 6 years old. She just couldn't control them. Even with the help of the teenagers, it was just like, it was so hard for her, and we could see it. And that's why the natives called me to come help, because some little Sasquatch kept coming around, banging on the windows and knocking over the garbage cans and making a mess. He just wasn't listening. So yeah, and there's more evidence to talk about with that. But what I've seen in the biology is they're losing habitat a lot. And, so you keep losing habitat, losing new houses get taken in, logging happens, and then an old male dies, and the group just disbands and goes deeper into the wilderness, and all that habitat gets lost. So loss of habitat equals loss of life, people. These are facts. This is not my opinion now. You take away a species' habitat, the species disappears and becomes less and has less of a population. They need habitat to survive. If you don't have a home, if you don't have a place, if you don't have, you need that to get food and survive. And that's happening with the Sasquatch. Of course it's happening with them. Of course it is. What do you think happened when 400 million bison were annihilated when civilized man, I said white people, came to this continent? 400 million bison were what? Do you know how much meat and food and sustenance that is? Do you know how much of the ecology was absolutely annihilated? You ever heard of a short-nosed grizzly? Extinct. There's prairie animals, they're just gone. All the predators and the mice and the fox, just annihilated a whole ecosystem. Because the bison were beyond keystone. They were the foundational species. And then the elk and the deer survived, but now populations of elk and deer, they were in the hundreds of millions. Now they're in hundreds of thousands. You do the math. You think that didn't change the ecology and absolutely annihilate this continent? And you think the Sasquatch wasn't immensely affected? Of course they were, and they still are. Part of the reason I want this discovery to move forward. Dire Wolf, do Sasquatch perform funeral ceremonies like crows? No knowledge of that whatsoever. None. They're very spiritual, and it wouldn't surprise me. In fact, I'm just going to give you an answer. There's going to be something they do. They're very spiritual beings. Something's going to happen. In my opinion, I have no evidence to substantiate this at all, but let's just give an opinion. What does my heart tell me? Because that matters. What's the art of the way I'm feeling? What's my emotion? Based even on my experiences and what I've seen from this species, yes, is my answer. Tim from Cape Cod, hello. Lunar phases from Cape Cod as well. We got 2 people from Cape Cod. Cool. Lunar phases, do they affect them in Tahir travels? I don't know what Tahir travels is, but lunar phases, yes. I try to work with that stuff. I've been missing out on that so much. I had a colleague that I don't work with anymore that was really into that stuff, and I miss it. You know what, guys? There's so much. I got the GPS, I got the drones, I got the cameras, I got the tracking, I got the weather, I've got all kinds of equipment and financial, and I got to pay rent and electrical bills and work on a documentary. I just don't do lunar phases. Maybe somebody can help me out with that on expedition this year. So, because it matters. It absolutely matters. Green Swamp is awesome. Donna Spangler, okay. Mel, hello from Boston, Massachusetts. I hope all is well. Thank you. Very nice to have you on today. Adam, have you heard of any Bigfoot sightings in upstate? Didn't we do that? Did I go back? They must do something with their dead. Yeah, and, speculative. This is Raggedy Man. Just speculating with that, right? Hello from Edmonton. I've been watching for a long time. I know. I went to the University of Alberta, Elena, Joseph. So I really enjoyed Edmonton. Great mall. And actually, not heck with the mall. Elk Island Park. If you're in Edmonton and you don't, Elk Island Park, I was just talking about bison. Elk Island Park saved the bison species. They have woodland and prairie bison. Totally saved the species of bison. Totally brought them back. Now the elk they have in Idaho, Montana, even in Banff and other places, they're from Elk Island Park. It's where they saved the bison. I go there. I love that place. I learned to track and hunt. Not hunt, because I'm not so much a hunter, like stalk, and learned about, because they have elk and moose and deer and bison there. Bison are majestic. Oh my God, what a majestic species. To know that there were 400 million of them across this beautiful continent they're gone breaks my heart. There are many sightings in New York State. Well, thank you, Rich. Have they or you, Duty, Saudi, messed last two live chat? Todd, is it possible to install good camera live? Sorry, that's too choppy. Hi Todd, do you think that Bigfoot aren't tree knocking and putting, yes, they're using, that's what they do. I haven't seen them do it, but I'm strongly convinced they have. I had a teacher, my native teacher said that, and I just listened to him. He was always right. I never was deceived by that man. Every single thing he ever said, he could back it up and do it. He was the most legit. My native teacher had as much integrity as Jeff Meldrum does, as John Binnernagel does, as Survivor Man does. And what I mean by that is I was never deceived. I was just treated with honor and integrity, and I just learned and learned. And no matter how much I questioned, no matter how much crazy stuff I saw going on, they were just always right, and they were always awesome. And I'm so blessed to be a student of those incredible, amazing, phenomenal human beings. So there's my nephew. Night night. Remember, sorry guys, family first. Night night. Eek, Amanda, what's going on? Mason, did I miss something? Thanks, Rich. The evolutionary, Julie S. The evolutionary tree of hominid species. It's hard to figure out where Bigfoot should be. I disagree. Can you help? Yes. Has there been Callistics review of Bigfoot wild comparison? That's my very tall Amazonian Viking sister, who is 5'10" monster, freaking scary. Don't mess with her, she'll punch me in the face. So the evolutionary tree when it comes to Sasquatch, it's very, very simple for me. So you've got, how can I do this? It's always backwards. So let's just do like gorillas and human beings. So Sasquatch are over here, but the tree would go even just straight up and back to a common ancestor. But Sasquatch are just over, again, let's say Sasquatch, humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans. That's the way it works. And we all share a common ancestor. And how far back? I think maybe we branched a little later. No, I think we branched the same time as gorillas and chimpanzees. Just the branch is all the same. It's just they're as separate from us in the branch as far back, as gorillas and chimpanzees and orangutans. All that branch just comes back together. We all have the common. Jeff Meldrum knows the name of the species. I just forgot it. I haven't been reading my books for the last 2 years. But yeah, and they're the most advanced hominid species in the world. The most advanced wilderness hominid species, if you want to put. I know our technology and blah blah blah, but we're also we have problems. We are turning out to be less like a primate hominid and more like a virus. You know what I mean? The way we're doing things, and there's a lot of hope for us, and I believe that's why I have children, because I believe in a future. Otherwise I wouldn't have children, and I'm very happy, and I fight for a future for all of our children and for this beautiful planet. But it's a bumpy road. Todd, they probably already have done it. Oh, well, done what? Do you think they live in caves? Mateo. Okay, Mateo just emailed me a question, or sorry, texted me a question. For later, did the groups you deal with, this is hilarious, so you guys don't have it, I have it on my phone here. This is, Amanda knows Mateo. I don't know if this is a good question or not. Did the groups you dealt with come to the areas each year, or do they switch up every year? So this is long, I'm not going to get a hold of it. It's always the same group. They don't switch up. Simple answer. So I have to tell him that on the text, because he didn't get it. Are you on here, Mateo? Is Mateo on here? I don't know. Anyways, no, and that's a good question though. Like the Sasquatch territory is a Sasquatch territory. Like I was talking about earlier, Morley, the big male died probably because he was old, and just the whatever his female and three children were left behind. Every year they were there. I was there studying them for 2 years. It was just them. They were always there, always back, moving with the food sources. But it's the same thing in radium. Jake was there for years until Jake got big and Jake went away. Pretty simple stuff. So in this stuff, I'm quite convinced of that truth is the Sasquatch who are in the area are there. But then again, in Montana, my colleague and I from there believe that a new male took over the group, and then things changed. So you had the same group with a different new male that took it over. That was another reason for me to believe in the male-dominated societies, because the group changed and there was we thought a big Sasquatch fight, and then everything totally changed after that with the news, if it indeed was a new male that took over. Okay, so more about burying the dead. It's too speculative. I don't want to answer that question right now. I just don't know. He could get a basketball scholarship. It's probably talking about the cloning. I'm way behind in the questions, right? So probably he would slam dunk on Michael Jordan. I love Michael Jordan. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. But yeah, oh yeah, they'd have to get him a hell of a pair of shoes. Let's have a little fun. Let's be funny. So Tom Henkel, any thoughts on hypertrichosis in humans and Bigfoot? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Why can't they find a dead one? If you paid me $1 million and I had to go find a dead mountain lion, I might be able to pull it off, knowing all we know. Because they're the dominant species out there, guys. Because their burial sites, just like the native burial sites, are highly it's holy ground. They're not going to let you near that. So there's a million reasons. Because we are getting outdone. Because they outdo us. Because they are the masters of the wilderness, and we are getting our asses kicked if we try. If you go verse them, you lose. I'm out there cooperating and being a good student, and I'm getting good success. I am so far from getting near their dead. If I went to near their dead bodies and on holy ground like that, relationship probably over in a big hurry. Done. No more allowed for Todd. And then my research is over. And all the Sasquatch sightings that I get every year, which there are dozens of people I take out and they go, there's a Sasquatch. Can you imagine that? I'm out with Todd Standing, day 4, walking through the bush. There's a Sasquatch. I saw it. He's right there. Let's go look. Let's go see that. This happens, people. So, I don't know. Have you researched Harrison Hot Springs? Yes, Gary. I went to Harrison Hot Springs. Man, are those Sasquatch angry. The big male in Harrison, that is the most angry, hostile being I have ever encountered. I felt his energy. That's the one Sasquatch. I was around him 3 or 4 times. I'd have to check my notes. I felt him around because I felt the rage of him. I felt the anger of him. So I should look in my notes and do a little thing about. The stuff that he was doing to people. That was one angry, hostile Sasquatch, and then the whole area, to me, started to feel dark. The trees were darker. The ground. It was just his energy that he was putting out there. It just felt like a dark, scary place, and I don't feel that way in the wilderness. I love and adore the plants and animals, and I just couldn't not feel that darkness and that fear that he instilled in me. And there was no breaking that will. That was just an angry, hostile beast. Huge Sasquatch, 17.5-inch track. Monstrous, thick, just a beast. I had a look at him, and just angry, smashing, hostile, constantly. I just had no desire. I can get some, when I was in with Brandy Brisson in his areas, I'm not going to name them, but there was a lot of, those Sasquatch are they were cranky. Compared to that guy, I'll call them cranky. But the Harrison Hot Springs Sasquatch that I had dealings with was just an absolute vengeful, angry, hostile, fear. I had no joy in that area at all. I go back there and I feel fear, and I don't really feel anxiety, but I'm not happy. I normally go in the wilderness and it's my love and my happiness and my joy of the earth that propels me forward and gives me that that strength to do the hard things I have to do. There, I just feel like that monster is out there, and it scares me. So look at these questions today. This is amazing. Norma Black, I'm traveling to Vancouver in the fall. Any advice? Drives that might have potential sightings in an area? Vancouver Island? Oh God, Norman, sorry. Oh, I don't know. I don't like setting people up with other people. Yeah, I can't help you right now. Sorry. You're traveling to Vancouver. Hmm. I got nothing that I can really share with you. I mean, Harris, go to Harris. What did I just talk about? But I don't know that whole area with John Green, and there's the Sasquatch cabins, the Sasquatch Lodge. I think that's all right around Harrison though. So here I am. Yeah, maybe not such a good idea. So I don't know. Vancouver Island's a real hotbed. My best advice is see if you can find some native people to talk to. So there's dozens of native all over that area. It's native, 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 all the way, gosh, starting in Chilliwack that I know of. And I mean, the native people in the native reserves there a lot of them are just really agreeable and awesome. So, do some work, and that's probably the best thing to do. Go talk to native people. There's reservation Sasquatch sightings and stuff on Facebook. So and I like working with it. There's lots to learn from native, and if you can find yourself a tracker and a guide and stuff. I've never met a native tracker that didn't know Sasquatch is real. And if I ever did, I would question his tracking abilities in a big hurry. So, Symphony, bless you, Scott. I love watching you. Thank you. If you're watching Scott, my name is Todd. And you know what's funny, Cynthia? You know what's really funny about that? People call me Scott all the time. I don't know why that is. So I'm absolutely very sure that you're talking about me, and a lot of times people call me Scott, and it's strange. Must be something weird going on. Todd, have you made any progress in your empathic training? Yes, small progress, small. I had a trainer and a teacher. I don't know why we're not. Just things got busy, and I stopped getting my lessons from her. I had a really awesome lady teaching me, and just having some other stuff that's slowing me down with that right now. I expect in 2021 to devote an immense amount of energy and time into my empathic abilities. I believe I had great empathic abilities, and then I had some really bad stuff happen in my life that has really traumatized me and made me not believe in my empathic ability. So now I have like blocks from it, if that makes sense. So I just got to get over my own issues, right, and get back to, man, there was a time back when I was, what was it, after video 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to video 8, so all the videos that are out there right now, I was doing stuff that's impossible. When I took Survivor Man out, it was impossible, the stuff that I was accomplishing, if I wasn't feeling the Sasquatch energy, if I wasn't, just things were falling into place so brilliantly all the way up until 2015, maybe 2016. And then, and I'll even tell you, so I made the movie, just so you guys know. So this was very traumatic for me. It was very hard for me because I had a family to support. So I made the movie Discovering Bigfoot, and I knew that it was worth, like, let's, as an example, like a Bigfoot show, any Bigfoot show. I don't want to name anything in particular, but any decent show that's going to play on a, Tuesday or Wednesday, no, it's no big deal kind of show, should get at least $300,000 an hour. Mine's a 2-hour show, so I've put about $500,000 into it at least, and my time, the years and years, if I $20,000 a year I paid myself for all the work I did, the end thing is 600,000. So I thought it was going to be easy to sell. I thought it was going to be a really big deal. I showed Meldrum. I had all that success with Survivor Man. Bitternagel was on board with me. So I was really excited. So I invested everything into that show. Even like I'm talking rent money, where I went to Washington. There's the poster behind me. I went to the Sasquatch Summit, invested the last little bit of money I had. Like it was money that, I got from working with Survivor Man. It was a very small amount, but I put every nickel I had in it. I went to Washington State and went to go blow everything out, and nobody cared. Nobody cared about my DNA, about my movie, about showing it to Meldrum. All the networks that were blowing sunshine up my butt deserted me, abandoned me, didn't want anything to do with Bigfoot. And I couldn't pay rent for like 3. My family nearly got kicked out, and I knew I was gonna have success. I just kept winning, 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 and then when it came time for that last little thing, selling it and making, because that to me was more research money. That was, if I sold that documentary and got $600,000, that was like 6 years worth of research for me. And of course I was gonna buy drones and everything. Actually, I was just gonna do 2 years of research, buy drones, put them up in the air. I've never been able to do that because I've never been able to have the financial ability to do that. But I just crashed, man. I had to quit everything. I had to go get a job, and then I had a horrible incident happen in the wilderness where I was attacked by a grizzly bear that I had to kill, and just so many things fell apart. And in my heart, I knew I'd won because I made the movie. The movie was amazing. I worked with Survivor Man. I got the DNA. I did everything I needed to do. So it's like I won the gold medal and nobody would give it to me. Does that make sense? Maybe that's a bad way of explaining it. I did everything I needed to do to win. I won, but I lost because I didn't get the sale, and it was about money, and I wasn't about that. So, but my heart told me I would just keep moving forward. My family believed in me, and they said, "Yeah, keep doing it, keep spending it. Just that one little step, you got it. You're gonna make it. The deal's coming." I even did a GoFundMe to sell my movie. We didn't get anything for that. People thought it was funny about how, even Survivor Man and Belgium and Bitter, they all helped me to promote and sell 10,000 copies of my documentary. Didn't happen. Fizzled. The haters won, and it was a very hard time for me to win but lose, if that makes sense. It was really, really hard. And then I didn't. Now my family, I had to go work at just a regular, it's just a job. I was happy to get the job that I got, but I had to go do manual labor and support my family, and it took me a year to catch up financially, and it was just really hard, and I don't like doing that. I put my family at risk badly because of my feelings, because of I believed in myself so much, and I thought I could do anything, and I accomplished the impossible stuff, and then I lost. So it was really, really hard. And other things have happened since then that just life is, it's not a cakewalk. When you fortune favors the bold, take big risks, but when you take big risks, you're going to fail a lot. And sometimes a big risk, you jump off a cliff and try to build wings on the way down, and you fall flat on your face, and it hurts, and it makes you think, and it questions your positivity. It questions a lot of things in you, and it changes you. And I want to find a balance between those feelings and being responsible, if that makes sense. Raggedy Man, do they have an overall tribe's elder? I think they do. I think they do. I think an elder did a spiritual ritual on me. So I say yes, I think. There's Norman Black, you're welcome. Mason says, Amanda was just updating you to know you have no control, no worries. Empathic ability we're talking about here. That's great. We love what you do, Todd. Thank you, Misty. Big jump there. Dire Wolf, what is the size of a Sasquatch troop? Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's one, the smallest troop I was just talking about today was, how many was that? So it's 3 children and a female, so that was 4. That's the smallest I've ever known. And then, in Nordegg one year, I thought I had about 12 individuals. And then I would bump that up 3 more, because there's got to be young and females that aren't coming around. So I had just my educated guess with 15 individuals. And then the year out, and then later that year, I think they had like a powwow where there was just so many Sasquatch around. That was in 2013, where Meldrum saw Sasquatch, and it was just crazy. And I couldn't even identify all the individuals at that point. Something had changed where natives do that. They have a big powwow. I think they had a gathering that year. I couldn't even clock. I had no idea there were so many individuals that were just different. And you tell by the tracks, right? Differentiations in the tracks, the width, the length, the weight. And I just stopped counting when that big gathering started in Nordegg, which I believe happened, because then I was seeing 24. I don't know. I lost track. It didn't make any sense how the troop went from that size to just like huge. There could have been 40 there. I actually gave up because I just kept finding differences in multiple tracks. So and then the year after, I couldn't identify, after that the helicopter coming in, and then the shooting, and potentially all that stuff that happened with the Sasquatch. If you saw that episode of Survivor Man, I'm not going to get into that much, but I talked about it in Survivor Man. So after that, it was just like I saw 5 individuals after that, or I had the tracks. I was able to identify only 5 individuals, which now maybe with, say there's females I can't get around. My educated guess is 8 from a previously double that, right? So there's lots of stuff going on. It's so hard because I'm doing this blind in the dark, guys. I'm blind in the dark trying to figure out what the hell in my research. So I am no expert. Oh my goodness. I do the best I can and I'm very proud of the results. I'm honored and proud of the results I get, but expert, don't ever. I am a Sasquatch researcher and I do the best I can. So, all right, Amanda's talking on here. We'll just do a couple more questions. I'm getting down pretty low. There's camera again. Cloning a Sasquatch can be done without a human egg. What? Could be fine with a chimp. Oh, but you know what? No, that's not a good idea, Cameron, because we're their closest living relatives, and we know that humans can breed with Sasquatch and produce viable offspring. Humans cannot breed, and actually, Cameron, that's complete. Hey, it's a great little theoretical idea, but remember that. So if Sasquatch are here and humans are here, chimpanzees are over here. Humans can't breed with chimpanzees. How does a Sasquatch who's further away? That's how I identified my DNA, because they're further away from chimpanzees than us, and by that deduction, further away from gorillas. So I don't know how much. I have no. Well, I'm just talking out of my. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't know anything about cloning. I know nothing about that stuff. But if it has to be done with an egg, it has to be a human egg. The offspring would definitely not survive if we use chimp or gorilla, because right now we can't mix human eggs with gorillas. We can't produce viable offspring. It doesn't happen, or if it does, it's a horrible, terrible mutation. You don't do that. They're too different. So I love that you brought this up, though, Cameron. I think it's just a fantastic idea. One more question, guys. I'm gonna do, and then we'll be out today. So there'll only probably be one show this week. I got to do a big long drive, and I got lots of responsibilities. So, and it's probably gonna end up. These weekly shows on Wednesdays are gonna become maybe a monthly show when I'm doing expeditions, because I'll be out so much. So, but I think the shows might be more exciting, and then I'll do the Sasquatch Sunday as what I think I'll stick with, and I think those shows will be more exciting because I'm just gonna film stuff on expedition, right? And so it could be pretty cool. I'm excited. I've never done that before. So hi Todd, greetings from New York. From your past, hi Todd, greetings from NYC. From your past research, when a Sasquatch chooses to reveal himself to you, alerting you that you are being stalked by a grizzly bear, do you think they would have enter? It ends with enter. I can't answer the question. I don't know what the end of it was. So the Sasquatch knew about the. Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is if I would have been attacked by the grizzly bear, would the Sasquatch have intervened? I have no idea. No clue. Absolutely no idea. I don't even know how to answer that. They intervened once to help me from a bear before, but that was a little bit their fault. They put out salmon and the bear got the salmon and picked up my scent and came after me. So it was really their fault. A lot. They were really responsible for that attack upon me, because they got salmon, put them up on a structure as a gift to me. The bear got it, picked up my scent because I had gone past that structure, and then came after me. So I have no idea if that Sasquatch would help me. Just none. I don't know. I've been in trouble a couple times in Sasquatch habitat. Last year I was having a hell of a hard time. It's a long story, but I was having a really hard time with a young bear, a 3-year-old. His mom had run off, but he was a male and he was sticking around. He was only 200 pounds, but that's a beast. I don't know, maybe he's 250. I was having a lot of trouble, and it was a scary situation. And there's a lot that I can't talk about with that situation, but it was scary, and the Sasquatch certainly didn't help me then. I sure could have used it, but then again, I wasn't attacked, right? It was just getting scary where he was charging and being very aggressive, and he was just a little jerk of a grizzly bear, total little ass, and he was really ticking me off. But it was just a dangerous situation. I got no help. But I don't know. And maybe are the Sasquatch always around? I have no idea. It wouldn't even surprise me the slightest bit if they just were always watching me, and most of the time I have no freaking idea. Like, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. They're so bloody dominant out there. Todd, did you get my email about the Vietnam Bigfoot? Not yet. Tons and tons of emails I have been getting. I'm trying to go through them. Trying to do a movie, trying to get the expeditions together. It's so much stuff going on. So I wish I wish I could clone me. I could use 3 of me, and I could get some sleep at night. So and JJ Todd says, could you please elaborate on the encounter you saw between a Bigfoot and a bear? Okay, so I talked about this a lot, but just do it real quick. So I'm moving into Sasquatch habitat. I got my Gigantopithecus cloaking device on, and I'm in a good spot. Bear picks up my wind gauge, starts stalking in on me. The Sasquatch becomes aware of the bear and not me, comes down the hill, kicks the bear's ass, and then that's it. And then I'm out of my ghillie suit. They know I'm there. That's the long. I've talked about that story many times, but there's way more detail to it than that. But that's the gist of it. So thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. What a great fun show. Had some really awesome questions. You guys are amazing. I'll definitely be back on Wednesday. Definitely on Wednesday. I just love doing the show. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting and helping out. My website is discoveringbigfoot.org, and I just can't say enough good things about you guys. You guys just make my life wonderful and amazing, and all the expeditioners, and you guys are on here supporting me. I'm speechless. Thank you so much. Be a good video this week. Get your questions ready for next week. Let's push it. Let's ask. Let's get that crazy question about cloning today. I love stuff. That's one of the main reasons I do this show. Is you guys just have the craziest, awesomest questions, and I just love that stuff. I want you guys to ask me questions, just shock me and shake me up, and you do it every week. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you. There'll be a Sasquatch